Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, folks. How you doing today? Michael Zuber, one rental at a time, and we got my real estate entrepreneur, Omar. How you doing, buddy?
Pretty good, Michael. What's happening?
Not much, man. So I want to go back to episode one because what we talked about there, it was called the real estate slowdown, SoCal edition, or whatever I call the video. But really, what we went through in that bingo slide
Yeah,
was evidence of doing the work, right?
correct.
My whole course, my whole 20 years of the real estate business was being focused in doing the daily activities,
Okay.
right? Building the spreadsheet, understanding yield, networking, growing my network, all of those things, which are paramount important in the course and going to be even more important now as the real estate cycle shifts and change. But I don't think I just struggle with trying to communicate the importance of daily discipline. I can't tell you how many people fight me on this. I still get people that go, you know what? I'm going to do it on Saturday, or I'm going to do it on Saturday and Sunday. I'm like, part of me wants to say, don't even bother.
Yeah, there's no point.
Yeah. It's like, yeah, it's better than doing nothing, but it still ain't great.
No.
I created that bingo slide. I put it in the free course because I want it to test you. If you can't answer those 10 questions, you are not doing the work. That's why I created it. So I want to talk about daily disciplines because it's a huge part of both you and I's success.
And you know what? I'll tell you, there's a lot to be said about discipline because everybody can talk about it, everybody can do it. And you know what? We're human. We do make mistakes, but things we get back on track really quickly.
Yeah.
That's the difference. So with regards to our, like in essence, in what I do, I'm very disciplined in the morning to make sure that my day is going to get started off right.
Okay.
I'm on the Peloton. I'm doing a bunch of push-ups, just getting myself, in state, being able to have like, hey, I'm going to control this day.
Yeah.
And this is the biggest thing. You can do all that, right? But if your mind's not in it, you're just doing it and you're not like living it. Does that make sense? It's like if you're in real estate and you're in the real estate game and you're just there.
Yeah.
What's the fucking point?
Yeah.
If you're at your job, you're just there. What's the point? Are you trying to expand your 9 to 5? Are you trying to do extra after your 5 o'clock checkout time?
Mm-hmm.
That's the discipline that I want you guys to know about is there something that is going to resonate with you when you look at yourself in the mirror every day? Like, what are you doing to better yourself?
Yeah.
And it starts with 1% better every effing day.
Exactly.
Literally.
Yeah.
And I know you want to add to this,
No.
and I'm taking a little bit from what you say too, Michael, because it is the daily discipline, in putting in the work, in making the phone calls, and maybe door knocking a certain area, and trying to find out how important is it for you to go get that first investment property.
Exactly.
How important is it?
Yeah.
Because if it's not important enough, doesn't matter what kind of discipline you have. You have to have that importance of why you're disciplined to get there.
Mm-hmm.
Big difference. Don't think about right now or tomorrow. Think about, okay, if I do this multiplied by 365 days a year, by 2 years, by 3 years, how far along will I be? Will I have 4 or 5 rentals at that point? But it starts with what you see in 3 years from now. Okay. Yes, you can obtain something right now. Yes. But if you really wanted to compound, like which we talked about in our previous shows, it's compounding over a course of time will end up giving you huge success, providing that you understand the discipline that it takes every single day to at least do something to move your needle forward. Yeah. And then remove all the shit that doesn't move your needle forward.
Yeah. There's a couple of things I want to say here first. And first of all, I want to give an example of one of my students. I actually did a live stream on this yesterday. So again, I love evidence that discipline works. So this student, we'll just call him Dan. That's his first name. He's in a market where he's been doing the work for 60 or 90 days and the market's changing, like this real estate slowdown I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So he sees a listing for a condo come out at a stupid price, right? The stupid price sits there for a while, right? That market, I'm going to go from memory, folks. Look at the live stream from yesterday for the specific details. So let's just say the condo was on the market 30 days. Most stuff in this market sells in 15. So it was double, right? It'd been long for that market. How does he know? because he's doing his daily disciplines.
Right.
Then he goes in and he goes, that one's different. This is the stuff you get to see when you do daily disciplines. You will never see that if you're not doing the work. He goes, that property's different. I'm going to dig into that one a little bit. First thing he finds, oh, by the way, that house last sold for 30% of what he's asking. So the seller has assumed margin, right?
Right.
So he goes out and he sends out an offer that is 20% below list.
Ooh, nice.
Love, right? If that first offer is not uncomfortable, you're not offering low enough.
That's good.
Yeah. So the seller says F off. Okay. Not a good number.
Okay.
He comes back. He raised it. He raised his offer 5%. The seller goes, all right. So the seller takes off 2 or 3% of their price. And my student goes, I'll wait. Right. He said, my student goes, I'm going to wait 2 weeks, because that's what Michael says. Wait 2 weeks and follow up. Right. 3 days later, the seller comes back and says, I'll take that second number.
The 5%.
Yeah.
Increased it. Yeah. Okay.
He took that. Right. Didn't take the stupid number, but he took the number just above that.
15%.
Yeah. Student got it off of list price in a hot market. His yield, if you're one of my students, you'll know what it is, went from 3% to 13%, 13.1%.
Wow.
That is a great deal in his market. So what did this student prove? Daily discipline works. It takes time. The market is shifting. What you will see is the outliers, the properties that are just behaving oddly. Those are the ones you go scratch. Those are the ones you go kick. Now, it's not always going to work out like this. Maybe this owner couldn't have gone down because they went out and refied and took out a second. Maybe they didn't have it, but you just don't know. The fact that he identified an odd property behaving oddly, he created an opportunity. Now he's going to get 13% on his money. I got that. I was so happy. I had to do a live stream and just congratulate him. And of course, he got one of these cards also, right? So this is just, it's daily disciplines work, man. And I wish more people would appreciate the subtleties and just the positive compounding that you get from doing it.
Oh, you know what? To add to this, your whole subtlety about the discipline, and it can go to anybody that's out there that made offers or is in negotiations with sellers. Okay, just because they say no right now doesn't mean you don't stop calling them. Yeah. This morning, if you guys follow me on IG, I went to a property that we're closing tomorrow, the next day. He already gave me the keys. I didn't stop calling this gentleman every single day after he said that his mom was going through some stuff that they needed to sell it right away. That was her house. I said, okay, every single day, my daily discipline, texting Kevin, texting Kevin, texting Kevin, texting Kevin every single day. And what happens? He got 5 or 6 people that wanted to list his house. Okay. Put it on the market, run a bunch of people through the house. Mind you, the mom is 75, 80 years old. So that daily discipline of me going and texting and calling, and hey, is everything okay? Everything good? No deal yet. None. He said, send me the contract. Yeah. I sent him the contract. He signed it. It's worth about $340, and I bought it for $255. And it needs about $10,000 at the most. Score. Okay. Yeah. That daily discipline, this happens. And it's funny because if you keep doing that work, it just becomes second nature. Yeah. It's the hunt. You get excited. I get up every day, and I've looked at my market every day for 20 years. I'm still excited every day. Every day. You never know. You just never know. Right. Yep. And again, we've talked about this student, Omar's story. Again, you're going to have to do this a lot of times. We've told you about 2 wins. Realize we probably would do this 10, 15 times to get that win. Yep. But it's still a win. Yep. It still works. It works. It just keep doing it. So the other thing I will mention is something I do on my channel is a weekly summary of goals. So I believe goals are important, but they mean nothing if they're not written down. Writing them down means nothing unless you share them. I share mine publicly. Sharing them means nothing unless you track them. And then that means nothing unless you track them weekly and you improve. So what do? Every Sunday, I share my goals and share it with how we're doing. I have a goal of getting 500 properties. That's the goal for the next 13 weeks, right? Well, it's 90 of the 500 for the next 13 weeks because 500 is a yearly goal, but that's what we're talking about every week.
How are we doing? How are we doing? How are we doing? And I don't do it for me. I've been doing daily disciplines for 20 years. I do it just to lead by example, right? So that's something that I really think is important. It's goals, it's writing them down, it's sharing, it's tracking, and it's tracking the execution. So keep at it. Daily disciplines.
All day. I love it. Sharing is the best part of it because
You have to share.
it puts you in perspective. It puts you in like, I'm actually doing this and I'm sharing it. And then now you see numbers and you're like, hey, wait, it's either gonna impress you, like, okay, I'm on track, or it's gonna be like, shit, I gotta get to work.
Yeah, I mean, every week I've been doing it for, I think, 70 weeks on my channel. In many weeks, I haven't hit my goal. I'm down. I think there's been a very rare week where I hit every goal. But again, it's sharing, it's not acknowledgement, it's tweaking, it's improving, it's identifying a weakness, it's asking for help. It's getting people like you to add content to the course, like this Airbnb thing we're talking about, right? Luxury Airbnb. It's just working your network and doing all of these things, folks. Daily discipline is where it's at. It can change your financial future, your business, your health, your relationships. It is amazing how much daily disciplines, when you focus it on some part of your life, will improve it.
All day. I love it. This is good.
Very cool, man. Well, do me a favor, Omar. How can people join your team? Maybe they want to buy something in the high desert. They should be reaching out to you.
Yep. Reach out to me, guys, on IG, Omar, or at Omar_Alfaro. Or you guys can call me 760-559-9945. There it is.
Thanks, buddy. I appreciate your time. We will talk next week.
You're welcome. See you guys next week.